Good evening, all of the new viewers, because I'm anticipating with the fourth episode of Sunday Night Vibe podcast. We got a lot of new faces in the audience and even on the podcast because this week we got a takeover. It's a little bit different. In the past, we've had guests on, but this one we got a lot of help. I grabbed the bat phone and I called my old podcasting buddy, Mr. Demetrus Stokes. He's got this brand new podcast. It's a phenomenal idea, y'all. It's called the GOAT Debate, where every week they will be battling it out over who is the greatest of all time. And he's elected, and we're so honored that he's going to debut this concept right here on the Sunday Night Vibe podcast. Before I give it over to Stokes, because I will forget, because I do each and every week, I want to make sure you guys follow us at SNV Podcasts on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that social media. We're going to get that out of the way right here, right now. Make sure, this is important, people. Tune in, listen. We need you to subscribe. We need you to hit the alert button. So each Sunday night when the podcast comes out, you will be the first one to hear about it. You can join us in the conversations on Twitter, on Instagram. But without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to my boy, Mr. Demetrus Stokes. What up, Stokes?
Woo, 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 woo. What's going on? Oh, this is exciting to do this episode. You know, my first episode as a crossover with Sunday Night Vibes because you guys are so great. I've been watching the videos and checking out the shows. You guys have been doing an awesome job. So I'm just happy to be here to get into this first ever GOAT debate with you guys. I know it's going to be it's quite an interesting topic. So I know you guys are gonna bring it here on this crossover episode. I'm excited. How you guys feel about it?
I'm ready. I'm ready to do this.
Right. This is a genius idea. Like when Darius told me that you were doing this, I was like, what? This is the coolest idea ever. Like ever. So
well, all right.
And then once again, we got girl boy versus boy. So this is perfect.
There you go. Yep, there we go. We're going to be debating the best male and female R&B groups of all time. Oh, yeah. I don't know who out there are fans of R&B music, but I know I personally love R&B. So all of those barbershop topic, beauty salon topic, family reunion debates, we're bringing it here on the GOAT Debate podcast. That's what we're gonna bring on the podcast that you'll be able to listen to on Anchor. Like Darius was saying, we also have the social media going. You can follow the GOAT Debate. Actually, it's GOAT_debate on Twitter. The podcast is on Anchor, and it will soon be on wherever you can listen to podcasts. So tonight's debate, guys, the greatest male and female R&B groups of all time. So what we're going to do, just to kind of break it down, give you a little synopsis here. I asked each guest to come up with a top three. All right. And so it in order, 3, 2, 1, 1 being your GOAT. We're gonna discuss those. You guys got to come with it too. You guys gotta have some supporting evidence, some numbers, some stats. I need to know why your GOAT is truly the GOAT. So where do you guys want to start first? Do we want to go with the fellas? Do we want to go with the ladies? Where do we want to go?
I think the males were the hardest. What do y'all think? For me, that was the hardest.
Was the easiest.
What?
Really?
Yes.
See, I would have to agree with Darius. I thought the ladies were easier to get to pick. For me personally, the guys were a little tougher.
I think so too, because I wanted to pick more male groups, but I couldn't. I was like, how about 5? But I know we have to do 3. Or how about 20? How about 20? We gotta do 3. You know?
So maybe let's go woman first. Let's go female first.
Okay, so let's do this. So I know you guys said it was hard to maybe for some it was hard to narrow down to 3. do we want to throw out some groups that maybe were close to making your list, but didn't quite make it? But that person that group might have made someone else's list. So I guess that's what this is all about. We'll see. But Darius, you're saying let's start with the ladies?
Yeah, let's go, ladies.
Okay, let's go, ladies. Let's go with some honorable mentions. Well, first let's go through the top 3, and then maybe we'll throw out some ones just so we won't put any honorable mentions out there that maybe is in someone's top 3. So let's start with Darius, since you said we'll start with the ladies. Let's go with your number 3. Who's number 3? Greatest female R&B group of all time.
My number 3 was it was the order of my top 3 may have been a little bit of a seesaw, but it was easy for me to narrow down my top 3. And I'm going to go ahead and give that 3rd position to the group that was originally known as Girls Time. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, buddy.
Y'all know who I'm talking about. They got going, and don't shake your head, Claire, because Nadia, she agrees with me because she knows.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with you there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Whoa. How do you know? Okay, all right. So I guess I got to break this down since I thought this was going to be very easy.
Break it down.
All right. These ladies, the band or the group at their core started in 2000. We're going to say 2000 and only went through 2006. And in that time, what you mean?
I just said, okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you would debate me already.
All right. Ready, boy.
He's ready. That's what we like. He's ready. Let's go.
Guys, I have the floor. This is my platform.
Okay,
in 6 years, the ladies have racked up 3 Grammys, 14 Grammy nominations. You don't shake your head. Don't shake your head because they have the writings on the wall went 8 times platinum. Mm-hmm. That's the 2nd most all time for any girl group. Destiny Child was putting it down. They had 12 million records sold with Survivor, which is the 6th most all time for the ladies there, and they've sold. Here's the thing. Here's what puts them over the top. They sold more than 60 million records in 6 years. 4th all time by women's groups. Not these groups that have been together forever because they didn't have nothing else to do. They produced stars in R&B singles and in the gospel realm. So they had to go and do their own things. If they stayed together, they would have been number 1. But because they were only there for 6 years, Destiny's Child, number 3 on the list.
You said they sold how many?
More than 60 million.
More than 60 million. Okay.
Wait. What was the okay there, Claire?
I'm just saying. I'm gonna let him.
I know she ain't got nothing better than that. Well, there's only 3 other better than that.
Okay, but go ahead.
All right, I'm done. They're number 3.
All right, Dia, do you want to give us your number 3?
Okay, first of all, there's you got to do better with that. Number 3.
What?
Did he ever say who number 3 was? He said Girl Time.
Well, Destiny's Child. They started as Girls Time. That was their name before they made it big.
He was trying to be all like,
yeah.
Because Girls Time didn't get that, but I'm just trying to get you to say Destiny Child.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing. They just changed the name.
The same thing because they're the different members. But go ahead.
Okay, just like every other band that switched out members, but it's the same core, same manager.
Okay.
It's the same band.
I'm sorry, Nadia. I'm so sorry. Darius disrespecting you.
No, it's okay.
I'm joking. What's your 3? What's your 3?
Okay, so I'm just saying my 3rd, right?
Yeah, number 3. Yeah. Who you have ranked 3rd?
Well, my number 3, these sisters They were all of them can sing. All of them can throw down.
Okay.
Now, they go by the names of Coco, Miss Taj, and Miss Lee.
Oh man!
Yes, SWV.
Oh.
I put them as number 2. I was kind of stuck in between them and somebody else, but they made number 4, so I just pushed them up to number 3. Let's see. I'm gonna be so honest with y'all. I really didn't get any stats on SWV just because we already know the greatness they came out with Weak. That song still plays on Z93 Jams and all that for us, people in Chucktown. So yeah, that's my number 3. The other 2, yeah, I got more information on them. So.
But listen, SWV, that's a good call because I'm gonna tell you. Listen, when we did the poll on social media on Facebook and Twitter, they actually came in at number 2. I was shocked. I was actually surprised. SWV is dope, right? Yeah. They sold over 25 million records. Mm-hmm. And really though, when you think about it, the only album that they had that was really popping was like the first album. It's About Time. But they had so many singles, so many songs off that album. They had, I'm So Into You, Weak, Downtown. They had a lot of good records on that album. So SWV is definitely a good choice.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, they did win that Soul Train award. It was amazing.
Don't do that.
Don't you do that. Don't you do it. Don't do it.
Do you understand? You trying to be funny. You're trying to be funny right now. Okay? Because if I start saying BET Awards and then you start, don't do it.
And listen, and we can't forget about Right Here, Human Nature. Man, they had a lot of songs that charted real high on the Billboard charts. Yes, they only won a Soul Train award, Darius. You are correct. But they were definitely one of the best female R&B groups of the 90s, no doubt.
They were very good. That's why they opened for Destiny's Child. They opened for them. They were very good.
Okay. What? No. On one tonight.
He is clearly. All right, Claire. Who you got? Number 3. Number 3.
Yes. Can I just say you're brutal? You're very brutal. But I like what Nadia picked because me, I love music. I can hear a good voice, a nice, you know what I mean? So I would have picked them too, but I was just trying to go by stats. So my third one, the reason why I picked this group, because I kind of feel like they led the way for my next 2. Okay, so I could have said Supremes and all that stuff like that, all those groups or whatever, because they did lead the way too. But I'm an 80s baby, so I'm gonna go to the 90s, and this group is En Vogue.
Okay, En Vogue. Okay,
right?
Okay.
So En Vogue consisted of 4 singers: Terry, Cindy, Dawn, and Maxine, and they did they did reach number 2 in the U.S. Hot 100 singles for "Hold On," "Giving Him Something He Can Feel," and "Free Your Mind." So that was in the top 10 hits. So I'm gonna go with them. They are my number 3. So without them, I think, and that kind of because they had R&B with a little bit of beat to it, but it's, it kind of, like I said, led the way for whoever we're probably all gonna pick later. I mean, the next 2 people we're gonna pick. So for your Girls' Time and Destiny's Child, I don't see how you put them at 3.
I know.
Can't see how you did that, but whatever.
I can't wait to hear his top 2 then for that.
4 Grammys.
Yeah, right.
I can't wait to hear his top.
Excuse me, 3 Grammys, 14 nominations, best song.
You talking about Destiny's
Child? Number 2 for real.
Yeah. Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah. En Vogue won a lot of awards. They won 2 American Music Awards. They won a
Right.
Billboard Music Award. They won, like 6 or 7 MTV awards,
Right.
a number of Soul Train awards. So, hey, En Vogue was dope. My only gripe with En Vogue is like the longevity wasn't there. That would be my only gripe with En Vogue.
And that's
now, speaking of En Vogue, did y'all heard the new single that they put out recently?
Oh, they still make music? Oh man, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Listen,
y'all haven't heard that song? It's called Rocket.
Yeah,
okay.
Right there.
Yeah, it's good. You need to check it out.
Yeah.
And the video's pretty cool too. So.
Okay.
It's on. Right. I think it's on the Vivo or whatever on YouTube.
I'll have to check it out. I did not know that they were. Now I know they had some members of the group to leave, and then some people came back and then left again. So, do we know like who from the original group is in this current version of the group that has the new single out?
It's probably still Terry and
okay.
Yeah, Terry but Dawn's not.
No, I doubt that.
Yeah, Dawn. No. Wasn't she on that?
Dawn was the one that was with Lucy Pearl, right? Where she left and went with Lucy Pearl, right?
Wasn't she on that reality show too? R&B Divas. No.
R&B Divas LA. And I only know that because I'm looking it up.
Okay, so
you watch it.
Dawn was on R&B Divas, and after watching her on that, I was like, yeah, she's probably not gonna go back to En Vogue. Like, her attitude was not fun to watch.
I don't think anybody who's in the group needs to go do reality shows because that just messes them up forever.
Well, see,
once people start to get to know who they are.
Well, at the time, En Vogue wasn't doing anything unless they were like touring and stuff like that. But I didn't know, so she probably just was like, "Let me just go and do reality." But it didn't do it. It didn't do her justice. So.
Probably not.
But you know who's still in the group? I can't remember her name. She played on Jamie Foxx show. Remember when Jamie got? Did y'all ever watch that show?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Remember when?
Trying to remember who?
Rona.
Remember when he worked at Jingles 2000 or something like that? Remember the girl he worked with?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
At one point he was messing with her.
Right. Gotcha. Yes, I remember
that lady.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot remember her name.
Rona.
She's in the group. She's in
Rona. Keep growling it at you, Rona. Is that?
Rona. Oh my bad. Rona. I don't know her name. But she can sing.
Yeah,
okay.
She could go there. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, so she's in there.
Okay. All right. Well, those are some solid number threes. Now, my number three. I went away from numbers, right? And I took it back old school. I went away from numbers and I took it back old school because I think this group is a group that kind of paved the way for like you were saying, a lot of the groups that we're probably going to name later, and even some of the ones we already named. And so when I was I had a different, for both my male and my female groups, I had a different top three, and it's like changed like 5 times. And so some of the people on social media that were responding, because I posted the question on Facebook, on Twitter for people to chime in, they coaxed me into changing my number three based on what they selected. Because I had to look up more information on this group. I knew their songs, but I didn't really know their songs. So I looked them up. So this group that I have at number three, they're a Grammy Award winning group. They were named one of VH1's 18 most influential girl groups of all time. Old school group. My number three group is The Emotions. Now, The Emotions. Listen, look why I'm getting that look. Like what? Listen. Four sisters from Chicago. All of them could sing, right? All of them could sing. They had listen, come on, everybody knows Best of My Love. Even if you don't know any Emotion songs, you know the Best of My Love. They did Boogie Wonderland with Earth, Wind and Fire was a huge song for them. They had 2 gold albums, a platinum album. They charted at number 1. The 1977 album Rejoice charted at number 1. That's where we got The Best of My Love joint. Mm-hmm. And they paved the way. Destiny's Child even has sampled the emotions. Rappers have even sampled the emotions. Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, LL Cool J, 50 Cent, Wu-Tang Clan. All of
I'm
these.
not following. I don't remember the song.
Okay.
They have sampled the emotions. Listen.
Okay.
The emotions have one of the greatest like Motown Christmas songs that's out there. Do you guys know what it is? What do the lonely do for Christmas? That's the joint. Come on, y'all.
I'm not lonely, so I don't know.
The emotions. Look up Best of My Love. That's probably their biggest record. And of course, Boogie Wonderland they did with Earth, Wind, and Fire. Right. Those are probably their 2 biggest songs. So the emotions, while I'm not getting the response from you guys, or I'm getting crickets here from my three co-hosts here today. The emotions are a legendary group, and they paved the way for all these other groups. So
Darius, you look frozen.
He does. He looks frozen in time.
Listen, I'm going through their page. I'm just trying to find the stats. I'm seeing the influence. I'm seeing where you saying that all these singers have taken from them. They had 1 Grammy. That's amazing. They were out for 42 years. That's in itself is amazing. But when you say the emotions,
yes,
I have no emotion for the emotions.
Let me tell you, on social media, the emotions got the second most votes. They were tied with SWV for the second most votes. But now, granted, I had my aunties and my uncles, commenting and chiming in. So obviously, they came up on the emotions. They probably the emotions probably were a generation probably behind us technically, but they're a great group. So that was my number. That was my number 3. That was my number 3.
You're not alone, because if you do like Google greatest R&B female group, they pop up. So they're in the top 20. Come
on, man, get familiar, Darius. Thank you, Claire. I appreciate that.
You're not alone.
Listen. What you do with your personal life, Stokes, is just yours, but I would recommend you drop everybody on that Facebook list immediately. Just
come on, family, man. You can't drop me.
They are doing you no good. SWV and the emotions. That was the toss-up. Come on.
They were tied for number 2, SWV and the emotions. Which I guess I should tell you that the number 3, since we were talking about number 3 from social media, was In Vogue. So a lot of people were feeling In Vogue. So there you go. Right. So In Vogue was number 3 based on social media votes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go to number 2. Claire, I'm gonna start with you for your number 2.
Well, Darius already said it. For number 2, I chose Destiny's Child.
Okay.
They've been through a lot. These girls. They've been through a lot. You know what I mean? Kicking people out and stuff like that. I mean, just kicking them out. You gotta go. And then they brought in who did they bring in? Pharaoh, whatever, but she didn't last.
I mean, did she even make an album? Like Pharaoh, like she was cause she came in with Michelle, right? She came in with Michelle.
Yeah.
And then she was gone.
Yeah, she was gone because the excuse was that she the excuse was that she took a picture or modeled for I don't know if you heard of activist Tariq Nasheed or whatever on his cover. And so they didn't like it, but I'm pretty sure it was other things or whatever, like her vocals and so anyways.
Dang.
But Michelle can't sing.
Oh, well, I mean, I didn't say nothing. But Michelle can sing better than her.
Oh, okay. I never heard her sing by herself, and I shouldn't do Michelle like that. Michelle, okay, she all right.
I mean,
She okay. She be a little shaky when she up there with the other two.
That's why Beyonce left her on the floor when she fell.
She sure did. Oh God.
Child, Beyonce will leave anybody on the floor.
Keep the party going. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, Michelle did her thing. I think she came out with like a gospel album and did her thing.
And she did. I mean, but she has a little soft voice. You know, like when on Martin, when Gina told Pam, I mean, you got a voice that can yang around the house. That's it. But listen. So I did pick them. You remember they gave you they asked you to pay their bills.
Yeah.
Pay like my cell phone, telephone, whatever. Pay my bills. And then when y'all men decide to pay their bills, they just stab y'all in the back and say, "I'm independent. I don't need you behind me."
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So
you're right about that. They lied to us. They lied to us.
That's why they had to be the survivor.
Yeah, and then it was like, we surviving because thank you for paying my bills. But the reason why I picked them for number 2 is because I can't remember why. Because I guess they were better than En Vogue, or they did better. I think Darius already read off all the stats. Yeah, they got 14 nominations, and then they won 3 of those awards for what? Survivor?
Yeah, they won
Survivor and
they won it for Say My Name and Survivor. Or their 3 Grammys.
Right. So that was my pick for number 2.
Yeah, Destiny's Child definitely has the commercial success. But watch this. I would say SWV and En Vogue, as far as singing ability, both of those groups probably sing better than Destiny's Child.
See, I thought we were going off of stats.
No, it's the whole package. But I'm just saying, like, you could base it off of whatever criteria you want to. But I'm just saying. But I do factor in numbers too, because Destiny's Child was my number 2 also. So they came in as my number 2.
They're not really my number 2, but off the stats, they number 2.
Right? Yeah, because I mean they.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm thinking about vocals and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Yeah, because En Vogue was saying to me they sing better than Destiny's Child. SWV probably sings better than Destiny's Child too. What I would give Destiny's Child credit for is, we see singing groups lose members and gain members and stuff like that all the time. But for them to like lose members and then get 2 new members, then lose that one, and then now they're a trio and still maintain, like, probably got even bigger than they got, with the first version of the group. You got to give them a lot of credit for that. Because listen, when Destiny's Child first came out, like you said, you was talking about bills. I was a teenager. I was so in love. I was like, listen, these girls are it for me. And believe it or not, I like the girl I liked the best was the one that got kicked out of the first group. I can't remember it. I think it was Latavia or something like that. Yeah, she was like as far as like, look, she was my favorite one. I was like, oh, so when she got kicked out the group, I was like, dang, that's messed up. But they had a great run. Will we ever see that? Well, I know we see them reunite for stuff here and there, but will they get back together and do another album, y'all think? I mean, obviously Beyonce is like a mega.
Beyonce's like
a mega star now.
Beyonce's like, I have to take a shower and wash my hair, okay? Y'all can me later. I don't got time. No, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you never say never, because didn't Beyonce invite them on the
they did, right? Her Coachella performance. So, yeah, they came out with her. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, yeah. All right, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so
I'm not jumping up and down for it. But
I sense you got a little bit. You got a little bit of animosity towards Destiny's Child, Claire. I'm kind of sensing that.
Cause let me tell you something. They would have set me up for trouble. I wouldn't have been married Do you understand?
Was that? Wait.
Just,
Darius, did you hook her on? Did you hook Claire on Destiny's Child? Is that what you? That's what he. Oh, you said
No.
you wouldn't.
The messaging confused her, so it's the messaging confused her.
Got you. Okay.
To them and making somebody pay my bills and then stab me and say I'm independent and I'm a survivor and I don't need no money. I've been done.
Oh, they confused you in their messaging. I got you.
Okay. Me. No, they hoodwinked me.
They hoodwinked.
They bamboozled me. No, I'm just joking. No, hey, listen, that's still my group. So, yeah. I mean, it's better than the Cheetah Girls. Anybody? Darius? Is that your first? Because I got it.
Cheetah Girls number one for me. I know for sure. No, I'm totally kidding.
That's Darius. Cheetah Girls. Come on, Darius.
All right.
I gotta hear it.
Who wants to give their so Claire and I both had Destiny's Child at number 2.
I also had Destiny's Child.
Okay.
They just so happened to
we think alike.
I know, right? Be slightly under my number 1 with I wrote it down what I have. I have 34 million album sales between 1999 and 2004.
Okay.
And why I picked them was not because of the numbers, but because of the bounce back that you were talking about, Stokes.
Yeah.
Just overall, like entertainment. Just they were all sexy. They were beautiful Black women who like they just showed so much power, and so many people like love them, no matter where you came from, diversity, whatever. They were nominated in different like countries. You got Switzerland, you got Belgium. They nominated for everything. But my number 1, top them. So we'll go ahead and end that since we already
huge crossover appeal with Destiny's Child for sure.
Right.
Okay.
So Darius, you're the only person that has a different number 2 because we all had different number 3s, and then 3 of us had the same number 2, except you, man. So let's hear it. Number 2 here, greatest female R&B group of all time. Who we got here?
Better give me something.
The second greatest.
I can't wait.
Well, you don't have to wait long. The second greatest female R&B group of all time is the OGs.
The OJ? No, they're a male group. There's the OJs are a male group.
No.
Okay.
Not the OJs. The OGs. The OGs as in the Supremes. The Supremes.
Okay.
Our second greatest group from 1959 to 1977. They put out 33 top 40 hits. 12 number 1 Billboard Hot 100, not R&B, but Hot 100 hits.
100.
And Billboard's number 16 of the top 100 artists of all time, barring any genre.
Mm-hmm.
And know them because they spawned the Oscar-winning movie Dreamgirls was about them.
Allegedly.
So they just have that presence.
Right.
They have that history. They have that legacy. They were, some would say, robbed. They only had 2 Grammy nominations in that span and lost both of them. So that's a little bit of shock. But despite that, they still had the hit. So long before there was Destiny's Child, they were the Supremes.
Yeah.
Very true, very true. And it's interesting how the group dynamic of Destiny's Child and the Supremes kind of parallel. Obviously, both of their lead singers go on to be like huge, like megastars. Beyonce, Diana Ross, became huge. They both of them did movies and all that stuff. So it's real interesting. That was the group that, believe it or not, that was the group that I bumped out and put the emotions in. I had the Supremes originally as I know. I had Supremes originally as my number 3. But I mean, I wasn't, not to say I was a fan of the emotions either, but when I listened to the music, I was like, oh, I'm feeling the emotions a little bit better than the Supremes. But the Supremes are legends, no doubt. So that's a good
Baby
choice.
Love, Stop in the Name of Love,
Yes.
Love.
Yeah, they really like to put love in all of their songs, but I mean, you know, hey, it worked, right?
I have a question though.
Okay.
Darius.
What?
Is this your top two, or are you going by stats? Are you going by stats, or you really feel that the Supremes is number two? I just want to know, because you get on me for staying in the past with my old school stuff, movies, songs, everything. So what?
Now I'm not throwing on a Supremes record anytime soon.
Bam, that's
but
all I need to know.
I gotta pay respect. That's all. I gotta pay respect.
I can respect that. I
love it.
Okay.
You're nice this time.
Okay. All right.
I can't even say number one.
All right. So now we're at number one. I'm wondering, are we all on the same page here?
I think
we
better be.
I think we might be.
I think we might be.
So, who wants to throw it out there? Who wants to go first?
I'm gonna go.
The GOAT. This is the GOAT now. This is number one female R&B group of all time. This is the absolute best.
Escape.
Don't wait, but why you do that?
What's wrong with Escape, man?
Yeah, what's wrong with you? Okay, well, I mean,
right.
I know what's wrong with Escape. We're talking about vocals once again.
Oh, okay.
You know?
All right.
But I still would have, picked them. I mean, I would have picked two of them, maybe three of them. I'm not gonna say nothing. Anyways.
All right, my fault. Go back.
They are okay. They're all okay singers.
Oh God.
All right. Who's number one? Who's
mentions? Those are honorable mentions.
Honorable mention, Escape. Okay, I can respect that.
Yeah.
Unless they're my number one or Darius is number one. He took his hat off. I'm gonna take that as a no.
No,
okay.
He was trying to be funny with them. Am I going? Who's going?
Yes, you going. Your greatest of all time.
Okay. This group. This is my group.
Oh boy.
When I was a little girl, and I wasn't allowed to listen to R&B because I grew up in a Christian home.
Okay.
But when we got with the cousins, you know what I'm saying? They were always playing, and their videos are always playing. This group has 3 members.
Boom!
Cheetah!
Yo!
And Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
Oh!
You all know them as TLC. And that's not 10 to 11 K. Okay? Anyways,
C drop there.
I mean, they had hits. Ain't Too Proud to Bay, Waterfalls, Red Light Special. What else? Creep. And yeah.
We can go all night. We can go all night with their record.
Exactly. But the reason why Darius, I picked them as number one is because they are the number one. They are the best-selling American R&B selling group with 65 million records worldwide. And they were nominated for 100 awards, but they only won 56. Not only.
Only?
I said only. I said only. They won more than half of those nominations. So they are number one. 65 million worldwide. Records worldwide. Okay? There? You okay?
Wait, Darius has his hands on his chin like that's TLC's not his number one group.
Well, I mean, since you asked, the group I went with went 11 times platinum for giving them the most sales from any girl group. They're the first women's group to go diamond. Diamond.
Wait, well, hold on. If you fix your mouth
to say Harriet Tubman and the Travelers.
No, not that. If you
that was the first ever. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, the group just left my head just now. Oh no. I'm mad.
I'm at a loss. I'm curious to see who it is because I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh my God. If you cannot pick anybody outside America, you better not pick. You better not.
Oh my God.
Group.
Well, that group is a pop group and not an R&B group. I believe you're referencing.
And the reason why I thought
is it Spice Girls? Was he going to Spice Girls? Okay.
The only reason why I said because TLC and the Spice Girls were close, I think, in record sales, something like that. Okay,
they were popping around the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, but no. Okay, I'm sorry, Darius. I won't disrespect you. Okay.
11 times platinum for one album. Another album did 23 million records. I mean, they recorded. This is the most important thing because it ties you back to your youth, your adolescence. They recorded the theme for all that. You can't get any better than that.
Stop playing games.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's TLC.
I'm talking about Second Nature.
Come on.
Okay, Second Nature was originally TLC.
I was about to say it was TLC. I'm like, come on, man.
I agree. They're the greatest ever.
Yeah.
I can't with you tonight.
Hey, my fault y'all didn't catch on to all their stats. I know they got only 100 record nominations, and you can't keep with every one of them, including 11 times platinum, the only girls group to go diamond. I can't help you don't know their whole resume.
That's why I don't know. Never mind.
It's long.
You know what else is interesting about TLC? They're the only group where the lead singer is not a better singer than the other singer. Like Chili was a better singer than T-Boz, overall. But T-Boz just kind of had the
swag. How do you say it?
There we go. Yeah, we can swag. We can use that word to kind of be out front. Yeah.
They were the group where, because I was a tomboy growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Aaliyah was inspired by that group.
Yeah.
And every, single one of them. I'm pretty sure she was inspired. Even Escape, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then again, because then I think I watched something before, and Escape was kind of like they were like, yeah, we're tired of these jumpsuits and all.
And they were kind of out at the same time. They were kind of out.
Yeah, they came.
Yeah. Wasn't Total like that too? Kind of the tomboy-ish.
Yeah, Total.
Right. Because
they all kind of wore, all those groups kind of wore like the baggy clothes. TLC, Total, Escape, even and then Escape tried to shift from that and tried to go more, kind of more the sexy look. Yeah.
But it was over by then, so.
Yeah.
Even SWV was like that too.
Yeah, they I think that was just kind of like mid 90s. That was kind of like a style that everybody kind of rock with. Nadia, was that your number one? Is also TLC?
Of course.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to leave you out.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's why it wasn't too hard for me.
Yeah.
When it came to the female group.
Yeah, and social media voted TLC number one too. They were it was unanimous. I think most people regard them as the greatest, the greatest R&B group. It was it's sad, obviously, that we didn't get more music from them, obviously, with Left Eye, dying and things, like that. But
they were resilient, like the Temptations, the Supremes and Destiny's Child, where they did that reality show to find a new member, and it just didn't
didn't click. It didn't go.
TLC.
Right. Yeah.
They have a new member. I just saw.
Yeah. But I don't think they'll ever get back
Right.
what they had.
They just tried to put out a CD last year. Was
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they tried to make a little comeback. They tried to make a comeback single with like just the two of them, with T-Boz and Chili,
Right.
and it kind of fell flat.
Right, but after that, then they tried to do another CD or whatever, like because they held like a crowdfunding with Darius.
His face, yeah, it's like
Darius Brown. I'll tell you what.
So we're unanimous. We're unanimous. So
yes,
we all
the
agree
greatest of all time.
that the greatest female R&B group of all time is TLC. All across the board, social media. So that's one that we actually settled. TLC is the greatest female R&B group of all time. They're undisputed. It's not disputed. I don't think we're gonna have the same results with the fellas.
No.
I have a feeling that we're going to clash a little bit here with the with the guys. So but before we get to the guys, give me some honorable mention female groups, like some groups that y'all liked that y'all just couldn't put in the top 3, but you guys really, you liked them a lot when you were listening to them, whether it's now or I don't even know. They don't even have what R&B groups exist now. That's like, you'd be like, oh, I gotta. Yeah,
I couldn't name one.
I can't even name. I don't even. There's not really good. R&B music is not even the same anymore, to be honest with you.
Is there even R&B music?
Yeah, that's another. That might be another.
Well, I do know these 2 little girls that I keep talking about, and I know my sister like, okay, and
is that R&B?
Chloe and Halle.
Are you a part of the group?
It would be, yeah. I think it would be considered R&B. Chloe and Halle.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they can sing. They really can sing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they can
sing. They come from, Beyonce. They're under Beyonce, so.
Yeah.
But I would probably say old school, Salt and Pepper.
Okay.
But is that rap?
But that was more rap, right?
Yeah.
But no.
Yes.
Yes.
Really, no, rap, Tupac is rap. I'll probably say they're more hip hop.
They're rappers. Dude,
that's the same thing, isn't
rappers.
Hip hop and rap?
Yeah.
Hip-hop
I mean, basically, it's kind of, yeah.
No, it's not. It was rap first.
Nadia, you talk about they're either R&B or rhythm and blues. Which one?
3 totally different things.
Stop.
Y'all gotta do better.
I get what you're saying.
Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Tupac.
That's just level of skill in rap.
Rap.
Yeah,
hip hop is like Chris Brown, where you get a little bit more of that upbeat tempo. R&B is more of the sensual, feel. So yes, there are 3 different genres, y'all.
Y'all don't mind? We don't. Salt and Pepper is rap.
But I would classify Salt and Pepper as like rap hip hop. They like fall under that.
Yeah. Okay.
They like fall under that umbrella.
What the heck's the difference between rap and hip hop?
I don't.
That's like saying, what's the difference between R&B and rhythm and blues?
No, it is not. I'm pretty sure we got some viewers to be like, no, y'all.
Okay. Let me give Nadia some credit. This is MTV, y'all. So y'all take this however you want to take it. But Salt and Pepper did win Best R&B Video for What a Man.
Right. Yeah. But that was with In Vogue. In Vogue was singing though. They were rapping.
Okay. All right, bro. Yeah.
But it was a song with a R&B feel to it.
Yeah, but there's still rappers that put on R&B singers.
1995 American Music Award for R&B and Soul Duo.
What?
Right. But you have to remember too, back in the day like that, they didn't really like give hip hop and rap a lot of props. So they didn't have a lot of rap and hip hop categories back then. So they kind of lumped them all up as like R&B. that, oh, this is all the music black people make, so we just gonna call it R&B. So that's kind of how they did it.
Just put all of them in that little pot.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's just do that.
Well,
so we said Escape, right? Honorable mention, right? Y'all was feeling Escape. Escape was tight though. Like Escape.
Yeah.
Escape had some, just kicking it. They had some hits.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple people on social media threw out some honorable mentions. You guys remember Brownstone?
Yes.
Yeah, Brownstone got some honorable mention love. They could really sing too. Like they lead singer can really sing. I don't remember her name. Anybody remember her name? I don't, but she could really sing. She was on. Mickey? Wasn't she on Martin? Do you guys remember? Was it Martin that she was on where she was like the church, like really like buttoned up like church girl, and then all of a sudden she like came out of her shell and she was like partying and like wilding out and making like she was making the church music, and then she like shifted to kind of the more. Wasn't that Martin?
No, on Martin is when because I'm a Martin fan.
Yes.
On Martin when she was Pam's cousin.
Yes.
And
yeah.
They went down to the what's it called?
Nipsey's. Yeah.
Nipsey's, and then she started saying a room, and mine was like, "Oh, she's terrible."
Oh.
and then they was trying to hush her up, and then she finally saying that Martin tried to manage her.
Oh right, yes, that was okay.
And then you had dang what's his name, Hustle Man coming, dishing with the kazoo.
Yeah, oh right. He was doing pick up the pieces. I just saw a video for pick up the pieces where he was playing. You put the kazoo on the saxophone.
Yeah.
Stokes. The funny thing about this is my sister is the jokiest person ever. She sent a video of my niece playing the kazoo that our grandmother bought her, playing the song "Pick Up the Pieces."
What's wrong with your sister?
That was hilarious. But you know what? I think I know who you talking about with that. The church goers went on a different world when In Vogue.
Yes, okay, it was a different world. I got the shows mixed up.
Right.
So but that wasn't Brownstone then, right? Was it?
No.
Brownstone was on Martin.
Yeah, Brownstone. No. What's her name? Is her name Nikki? Yeah, right. Nikki. Nicole Gilbert is her name.
Okay, got you. So it was In Vogue that was on Different World.
Yeah,
that was like the button up church girls, and then they came out.
Right.
Yeah, it was In Vogue.
Yeah, they came out like '89. So remember, Different World went off in '91.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that Martin episode, that was probably later, like '96 or something like that, towards the end of the season.
Gotcha. Okay. So Brownstone got some love. Escape got some love. 702 got some love. Y'all remember 702?
I had the CD, in high school.
Where my girls at?
702
actually won a Grammy too, which a couple groups we had listed didn't even win a Grammy. 702. Yeah. 702's first album was tight. They were all right. They were like one of the first groups that like Pharrell produced. Like the Neptunes were kind of just like got on the scene, and he produced. He had a song with them that was popular called "I Still Love You." That was a really popular song back in like the.
I feel so bad.
Don't want to say late 90s, early 2000s, and Pharrell actually sang on the song with them. That was like one of the first times I ever heard him like sing on something, with the falsetto that he liked to use. So
really,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there you go. Look, little 702 history lesson. Y'all know why they named it 702?
Are they?
That's the amount of minutes they were in existence.
Don't do that.
Was I in like middle school, high school, or something?
Yeah, 702 was like definitely in the 90s. So they were called 702 because they're from Las Vegas, and Las Vegas area code is 702.
Are they the one that did Boom like in 808? No,
that was Black. Oh, see, I can take. I know my R&B music. That was Black.
Oh my God.
Now BLAQUE, Black,
okay,
yeah, and they were straight up TLC knockoffs, Black, but that's because Left Eye was their like they were like Left Eye's proteges. Yeah, they were like, but because it was a 3-girl group. 2 of them sang, 1 of them rapped. One of the girls from Black, ironically, and we probably gonna get in this when we talk about the men's group, is married to Ronnie DeVoe from New Edition.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I see him all the time on Instagram.
Yeah, so it says 702 was active from 1993 to 2003. Listen to this, and of course they were signed to Michael Bivins from New Edition's record label.
Michael Bivins,
Biv 10. So yeah, their first album was called No Doubt, and it won. Did I say they won a Grammy? I lied. They didn't win a Grammy. They won a Soul Train Award.
Same thing.
Best R&B soul album of the year by a group, band, or duo. But yeah, they had Where My Girls At was like their biggest their biggest song. But their first album went gold. So yeah. So they were connected to New Edition. That's probably how she met Ronnie DeVoe.
Right. So maybe that's a good topic for you, greatest of all times on producers, because Michael Bivins,
he's up there. Listen, you listen. That's a great set. My third episode. Well, it's not producers though. We're doing a greatest hip hop DJs. That's one we're doing pretty soon. That's gonna be I think the third episode. So yeah. So all right. So we were talking a little bit about the guys. So we're gonna shift over to the fellas. I don't think we all said this, but a couple of us said that the men were harder to select than the female group. So we're gonna start with number 3. D, I'm gonna start with you. Your number 3 best male R&B group of all time. Number 3.
My number 3, rolling back around, is New Edition.
Oh
yeah. New Edition. Did you pick that, Claire?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's your number 3, Claire?
Yeah.
It's also my number 3.
That's my. Wait a minute. That's all of our. That's my number 3 also.
Unanimous.
All of our number 3s, New Edition. Yeah. Go ahead, Nadia. Go ahead.
Yeah, but of course, and I didn't really do mine by the numbers. I did mine about what type of swag or what type of and it didn't help that the movie came out. When was that? Like last year?
Yep.
We're trying to just set everything.
And the Bobby Brown one just this week. Last week, Bobby Brown.
Right, them boys is bad. But yeah, so New Edition would be my top 3. So
yeah, New Edition is personally my favorite R&B group. Like they're I couldn't put them first. I had them number 1, but I was being selfish because they was number 1 because they're personally my favorite. Like I'm a huge New Edition fan. Just their longevity. I mean, they've been around forever. Like 30 something years. How many groups your lead singer? Well, I guess Bobby Brown wasn't the lead singer, but Ralph Tresvant technically is the lead singer. But Bobby Brown leads the group, and you replace Bobby Brown with a better singer. Johnny Gill sing better than Bobby Brown.
Okay.
Although Bobby Brown's probably a better like overall entertainer, right. But Johnny Gill sings better than Bobby Brown. Then your top 3 singers lead a group. You take the 3 guys that nobody cared about. They make a group, BBD, and then they are super popular. So you gotta get them boys credit. They're extremely talented.
I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You're all about that bounce back and that whole.
I like yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I agree.
And 29 million people can't be wrong. That's the most ever to watch a BET segment in history. 29 million people for that New Edition story in 2017.
Really? I wonder what American Dream got with Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, that was my documentary. I love the Jackson one. That was good.
Oh, you don't want to go there.
Yeah, but the New Edition one was really good. you know, I mean, they still tour well. I mean, they tour and people still go out. You know, they sell out shows still, even to this day. I mean, they are very, very, very solid performers. They actually tied. The people on social media actually voted them number 3. They tied with another group, which I won't name just in case they're in one of you guys' top 2. So I'll hold off on saying who they tied with. But yeah, anybody else got anything going?
Claire's got something different.
Theirs? No, that was it. But is it okay that they got like the Soul Train mentions? Is that okay that they got that?
They got one Grammy nomination for It Isn't Love back in 1998. So they did okay, you know.
Wait, what? Oh, 1980.
Yes.
I was really surprised that for them to be out as long as they've been out, but I know it's more so because they broke up and people went solo, and then you have Bell Biv DeVoe. Like the collective only came out with like 7 albums. Right. Like for them to be out for like 30 something years and they only dropped, 7 albums. That was kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, most of that 30 years, I mean, let's be honest, they were dormant for a good minute there, until Bobby Brown came back, and then that kind of lit it up again, and they were able to keep going there. But
then the miniseries just put new life into them. That just got them on a whole nother.
It was that tour when they came back. I think that spawned the miniseries. That tour when they came back really lit them up, and everybody's like, "Oh, okay, that little nostalgia. These guys were on and popping back in the day."
Which one? The one in '96?
You talking about Home Again? You talking about that one?
96?
No, after that, like
recently?
No, when they came back more recently, and started touring again.
Yeah. Did you guys know? I mean, they had a Cup of Coffee on Bad Boy Records. I don't know if you guys. They were on Bad Boy for a minute. They had that one song, "Hot Tonight." That was kind of like the one song on Bad Boy that they had that was good, and everything else was kind of just man.
Just keep Candy Girl and Mr. Telephone Man in the rotation. Just go with the old school. Don't try and come out with nothing new. Don't do no new moves, Bobby. Don't try and fit back into the suit. Keep it easy.
No, he lost some weight. He did lose some weight. I mean, because
he got that. He's got like a meal kit or something going on. So
a cooking website, barbecue line, and he says it's gluten free and fat free and whatever else free. And he said that helped him lose weight. I don't know. I mean, I guess he walked.
And that tummy tuck
all the time.
Yeah, tummy tuck. Yeah, but New Edition is. They're one of the greats for sure. I still to this day listen to they have a I think it's called Gold. It's just basically like a greatest hits album. But the Gold, but instead of it being New Edition hits, they throw in like their solo, when they go solo, their songs. So you got some solo Bobby Brown, some solo Johnny Gill, and by solo Johnny Gill, I mean my, because that's really like the only song he had. But and Ralph Tresvant had Sensitivity, but yeah. So New Edition definitely one of the greatest male R&B groups of all time. So they came in at number 3. So let's go to number 2. Darius, I'm gonna let you start this one off. Number 2, who we got here?
My number 2 is gonna reflect my number 2 for the ladies. I went old school again, 1960 through the present. The Temptations, formerly the Elgins and the Pirates, under Motown Records in the 60s and 70s. There, 15 number 1 R&B singles. That's something like the 6th most all time. My Girl, Just My Imagination. You know them all. They're. I think they might even be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They just got so many hits, and I think they were on number 1 Billboard charts for a total of 41 weeks, which is like top 10 most ever. TLC, I think, might have had 11 on the #1 Billboard. So that's just perspective. 41 weeks, TLC, The Greatest Women, only 11. So they're my number 2. The
Temptations. They also had a great miniseries. I don't know if you guys ever saw the Temptations miniseries, the story that came on. It was really good. That was probably back in like I would say late 90s, early 2000s when that one came on. But it was really good. So, and I'm from Detroit, so the Temptations, all those, those groups come from my neck of the woods. So although I did not have Temptations in my top 3. Spoiler alert.
They were the Motown. When you talk R&B, you got Motown, and they were the first Motown act to win a Grammy.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah. Temptations were voted. Temptations were voted #1 by the people on social media. They were #1. They were the #1 group. But they weren't in my top 3. They were my honorable mention. They were like my. All right, Claire, who's your number 2?
Okay, so I'm pretty sure my number 2 might be someone's number 1, but they're my number 2 because whatever. Okay, so this group consists of 4 members. Oh, you got this too?
I'm pretty sure I got this. Yeah.
Okay. 4 members. This group, they sung you to sleep. You probably met your girl or your guy, dance on the floor, They also had your mama during, Mother's Day. They serenaded mama. This group consisted of Sean, Wanye, Nathan, and Michael.
Yes.
That Michael with the deep voice, the little bass. Boyz II Men. I'm sorry. So, anyways, but this is why, listen, they were under the direction of Michael Bivins.
Michael Bivins,
New Jack Swing, you see, and they debuted with their what was the album? Cooley High
Harmony, right?
Yeah, so they gave you I'll Make Love to You, End of the Road, Mama. Like I said, they sold over 64 million albums worldwide, and that's why they're my number 2. I mean, I'm pretty sure they got a lot of stuff. They have 7 platinum and 3 gold singles. So that's why they might be someone's number 1. But to me, they're number 2. They're number 2 to me. I mean, they're gonna come before. Before New Edition, because the vocals are there for every single one of them. Every single one of them. You got your deep register. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Wanye and his neck popping all which way and going up here and there. Can't even control it. That's Wanye, right? Yeah, Wanye.
Yeah. That's Wanye. Yeah.
Yeah. Surprised the neck will come off.
That's the same for you?
Yep.
Really?
The exact same thing.
So I guess you guys might be surprised. Boyz II Men are also my number 2. Also.
Yeah.
We on the same. Seems like the 3 of us are on the same wave. I don't know what Darius is on, but Boyz II Men. Listen, pound for pound. He got up and walked away after I said they were my number 2. He was disgusted because the 3 of us are all on one accord. In my opinion, pound for pound, nobody can outsing Boyz II Men. Like they are like I would say male. I would say male and female side. Like they pound for pound, they are the best singing group that I've personally ever heard in my life. The harmonies, like you said, even the bass could sing.
I got my number 1. But go
even the bass could sing. The very first concert I ever went to was Boyz II Men. Destiny's Child was supposed to be there and they no-showed. but it was Boyz II Men and Next. I don't know if Next is anybody's number, if anybody's number one.
Next.
But do you guys remember Next? They had two songs, and they had a song called Butter Love. Do you guys remember that?
That was college.
Yeah. So that was like the first concert I ever went to. Was Boyz II Men. It was supposed to be Destiny's Child and Next. Boyz II Men, of course, were the headliners. So Next was like the opening act. But yeah. But Boyz II Men, my number two. You said what?
I said what?
Yeah. Boyz II Men.
New Jack.
Number two. Come on, man. End of the road.
New Jack.
You know, they did One Sweet Day with Mariah Carey. I'll Make Love to You. You talked about that. Motown Philly. I mean, man. They had it all. So, and I like the fact that they don't need no music. You just
right.
have them sing and it's great. And their Christmas album is dope too.
Oh yeah.
The Christmas album is good. Let It Snow. They had the
snow. It like it's snowing outside.
I had that. Yeah. I had that on cassette.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I had it on cassette tape. I had Boyz II Men on cassette tape. I had the single. Remember they would have the cassette and then just the single. Yeah,
that's what. Yeah.
And you.
Oh yeah, I used to buy singles all the time.
I am not old. I promise.
I'm about to say I'm revealing my age. I would buy singles all the time. There's a little spot called Curtis Records. I get off the bus from school, go there, buy a single, especially if it was a song that was popping on the radio. I would, if I didn't dub it and try to record it off the radio,
that's what I'm gonna say.
I would go buy a single
and then record it. Wow.
Yep.
And then you have the DJ, the radio, DJ voice on the thing.
There you go.
Cutting it off at the end.
There you go.
Darius, what's going on?
Darius, I think Darius is angry that Boyz II Men is. I know he likes Boyz II Men a lot.
Exactly.
I think he's appalled that they're number two.
Yeah, I think it's number one.
Because I think they're his number one, and I want to steal his thunder. But I'm gonna go to Nadia first and let her give us her number one group of all time male R&B group. Do you want me to go to Darius?
You know what? I could go. I don't want to shut it down so early in the game though. So I'll go.
Okay. No, Darius. No, we're gonna let Darius take it then, because she said she's gonna shut it down. Because I think my number one is gonna shut it down.
Well, my number one's gonna shut it down.
Period. Why do I have a feeling all three of us got the same number one?
If we got the same number one from there, we know Darius has a different number one. Darius. Who's the GOAT? Who's the greatest male R&B group of all time?
Just tell him it's the Delphonics. Go ahead. You're going old school tonight. I'm confused. The heck?
You said the Delphonics.
That's a group, right?
Yes, the Delphonics are a group. Yeah.
Go ahead. I know. Hello? Is it? It's Boyz II Men. It's Boyz II Men. Yeah, it is. I know it is.
It's Boyz II Men?
I think it is.
Guys.
Yeah. We upset him. He is upset.
The disrespect that has been shown here today.
Oh my God.
Listen.
I don't even know where to begin with you guys.
I'm sorry.
Y'all walked right over their 4 Grammys and their 14 nominations.
He said we walked right over
them. You stepped all across the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh God.
You didn't even acknowledge that although they started in 1985, they're still touring with Bruno Mars, one of the hottest acts in the business right now. And although you did mention the 64 million albums sold, you forgot to say that it was the greatest of all time. 50 cumulative weeks at number one, third most, only behind Elvis, the Beatles, and Mariah Carey. Since none of those three are on your list, I'm bewildered on who you could have possibly picked. I think I know who you picked. And I have a feeling it's because of a single star and not a group star, because I believe if you take that single star away, you've got a bunch of schmucks
I know exactly who you're talking about.
So there can be only one GOAT for R&B groups, and that is the greatest group to ever been assembled.
I can't believe you are
Boyz II Men. I would sing it to you if I could, but Boyz II Men is the greatest of all time.
Actually, no. Sorry, but
You're wrong, but valiant
If you
effort.
want to embarrass yourself, go ahead. This is your opportunity to reverse all that you have mentioned before. Put your number 2 to number 1 and give your respect back to me and the rest of our listeners here on this great podcast.
Theirs is dramatic.
I feel like this is HTR all over again. Demetrus and Stokes and Darius. God, you
Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Not wrestling. You got to get at me.
That is hilarious.
Trying to hurt my feelings. At least we picked them.
Listen, right. And I just said pound for pound, nobody can out-sing those cats. Boys to
You're
Men.
about to put a group above them.
Yes,
Explain
I
that.
am. I am about. Oh, I'm going to explain. I am going to explain, sir. But I'm gonna let the ladies have the floor first, and go ahead and give their number 1.
I gotta hear Nadia's.
Oh, you want to hear mine? Okay. Well, this
Shut
group,
us down, Nadia.
this
you
group
Nadia
inducted
said.
into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They consist of 5 brothers.
Hey!
Oh my God! Don't tell me that we're unanimous again. I cannot believe this.
Gary, Indiana.
I'm going back to Indiana. Y'all better not play.
Yes, we are
Can I
talking
say
about
what you at the
Michael
same
Jackson
time?
and the Jackson 5. I'm even going to go ahead and put Michael Jackson out there. I'm going to say the Jackson 5.
Yeah,
Jackson 5.
Is the greatest of all
It's the-
time.
That's not a group.
And
that is a group. What are you talking about? It is a group. Darius,
That is a single star with 4 backups. That is not a group.
Darius, if you take Beyonce off of Destiny's Child, what are they?
Oh,
Listen, they mesh.
If you take Beyonce off of Destiny's Child, what are they? I mean, it's the same. It's the same. If you take Diana Ross off the Supremes, what are they? If you take Harold Melvin off the Blue Notes, they would never go platinum, right? At least that's what Snoop Dogg said.
Oh,
but
If it
go ahead.
If it
Go
wasn't
ahead.
for all 5 of them, you wouldn't have him. You wouldn't have him. Do you understand?
She just
Darren,
but
where's my
we gotta let them know for people that's listening. She just pulled out the off the wall record, the vinyl.
yes.
I'm not playing no games with nobody. I'm not playing games. Listen, when it comes to the Jackson 5,
Okay, talk about it.
Nadia,
Talk
you
about
better
it.
Tell them.
She
Talk
is
about
a diehard fan to the
You bet.
dad.
Listen.
I'm pretty sure her casket is going to have the little
God,
decal
don't
of
do
the
this to me
Jackson
right
5 on there. I'm
Dear.
sorry, I didn't mean to speak that into existence, but I'm just saying how dedicated you
God.
are.
She's trying
Life
to-
after, life after death.
Okay, but I'm not ready. Okay. Trying to-
She said she
Yeah.
want to live. She want to live a little longer.
Darius knows when I'm in that garage whooping up some stuff, products and stuff. What do I put on Darius? Jackson 5.
Listen.
Loud as can be. And I even try to match my voice to Little Mikey. I know I can't, but that's okay. If it wasn't for the Jackson 5, you wouldn't have New Edition. Period. Point blank. As a matter of fact, let's see. Everybody tried to be like Jacksons. What's the white
Little
dude?
old Stevie Wonder.
Well, Stevie. That's a
New Edition definitely bit off the Jackson 5. New Edition
Jackson 5.
definitely tried to be like the Jackson 5.
I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. If it wasn't for the Jackson 5, you wouldn't have Boyz II Men. Period. Point blank. Okay? Are you moving? Without them, you wouldn't have any of these other little groups. ABC was it Another Bad Creation?
Oh, they was dope.
They were dope. Like all these little kids, even the what is it?
B2K.
Donny Osmond and his group,
yeah.
trying to always match with the Jackson 5 all the time. Just couldn't do it. I'm sorry. Jackson 5, they have a star. They have a star too in Hollywood.
Listen, let's be honest.
Darius, hold on now. We are gonna be honest. This is what I'm trying to be right now. Honest, okay? Because I will fight. You will switch on the couch for Jackson 5. I'm just joking. But listen, Jackson 5. I mean, they came Gary, Indiana, right?
That's right.
Detroit. Went to Detroit. Well, they went to LA. They were on Diana Ross's Presents. That was their first album. That album was what happened with that album?
It was awesome. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Man.
No, but that, I'm trying to think, because that album, it says made history, and it reached the top of the Billboard's Hot 100 with the first 4 singles. They were the first group to do that. The first 4 singles.
Did you hear that, Darius? Did you hear that?
Yes.
The first 4 singles that they came out with, not just on the R&B.
Exactly.
They went number 1 on the R&B charts and the Hot 100. The first 4. I Want You Back, ABC, The Love You Saved, I'll Be There. What about single number 5, Mama's Pearl, number 2? What about the 6th single, Never Can Say Goodbye, number 1? Maybe Tomorrow, number 3. Sugar Daddy, number 3. Come on, man. Boyz II Men ain't put out no hits like that.
And guess what? That's where it ended. They started in 69 and peaked in 70. Don't give me this mess.
What?
Name another number 1 hit. You were listing them all. It came on that first album. Name it after that. They have 1.
Okay.
They have 1.
Okay, but listen. Okay, they had.
Excuse me.
Go ahead, Claire.
And Demetrus, because I love when you talk about this bounce back. Jermaine was just like, listen, I can't. You better come back here. I'm finished. Jermaine was like, listen, I gotta be loyal to my father-in-law, Barry Gordy. I can't join y'all. Y'all trying to leave Motown. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't join his brothers. They had to change their names to the Jacksons, right? And they brought on their little brother, Randy. You see, that was the whole plan in the first place, to have all of those children.
Yeah.
Just to
keep the party going.
You know,
Joe wanted to keep that assembly line going.
Yeah, you know?
He worked on the assembly line. That was his idea. He came up with the concept from working on the line.
Damn. So Joe said, I got another boy. The only last one. I'm gonna put him in the group. Y'all let Randy in. Sure, Dad. And he came in as the Jackson. And 2 years after you were born, in 1987, they made history with their victory tour. Do you understand? You talk about, they didn't do anything for a while, blah, blah, blah. Or it ended there when they were just little kids. No, it didn't end there. The history tour, the victory tour there is in 1984, performing 55 shows with nearly 3 million attendees. Come on now. Come on.
Now might I add, from 1969 to 1980, they came out with an album every year, except 75. They dropped an album every year except one from 1969 to 1980. And Darius, you were talking about, well, where the other number ones come in at? Well, Dancing Machine was a number 1 record. Get It Together was a number 2 record. Enjoy Yourself was a number 2 record. Oh, come on. Lovely One. Heartbreak Hotel, number 2. Blame It on the Boogie. Shake Your Body Down to the Ground. Man, come on. We can do this all night. Even 2300 Jackson Street, they was well past their prime. They was completely washed up in 1989.
In every genre.
And that song still charted in the top 10.
Thank you.
What? The one with Mick Jagger?
No, not State of Shock. Not State of Shock. No.
Are you talking about the one that was 77th on the chart? Is that the one you're referring to?
Okay, I'm looking at 2300 Jackson Street did not chart on the Billboard 100, but it did peak at number 9 on the R&B charts.
Let's talk about you talk about these one hits. Boyz II Men, they had platinum albums. Plural, not just one song. They had entire albums that were coming across. They started with number 1 in 1992, and then I don't know. Let's go back 5 years later in '97. They dropped another one that went platinum, and then they just kept going and going. Like, it was ridiculous. You're talking about one song that did okay for like a week. It got play for a week. And we're talking about number 1 albums, platinum albums. Come on now.
How many records do you think the Jacksons have sold over the course of their career? More than Boyz II Men, would you argue?
65 million? 60 million? Or was it 60 or 65? 65 million.
Okay, well, we gotta get the numbers on the Jacksons, because I'm sure
it's like 12, dude.
Come on, it's not 12 million.
You can't get the numbers. They're so low. Nobody's reporting them.
Well, you can't get the numbers because it was like the 60s, the 70s, probably.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And they did shady stuff back then too. So don't play no games when it came to those kind of stuff.
And I'm not even talking about the Christmas album. We talked about Boyz II Men's Christmas album. The Jacksons' Christmas album, classic, man. I play it every Christmas. It's got to be played.
And so does theirs.
And then they was Jehovah's Witnesses.
They went against everything they believed in for the sake of selling records. Joe Jackson was relentless. He was that guy didn't care. He's like Jehovah's Witness. And forget all that. We making Christmas albums. Right. We singing about Jesus.
I mean, because let me see.
There's some places are saying they sold up to 50.
Yeah,
but it's not official. So they produced an album a year for like 30 years and got to maybe 50. So maybe 15 million behind the greatest R&B group of all time, Boyz II Men. So they did well. They were my honoree. They were my fourth.
They got an honorable mention. That is blasphemy.
Let's be honest. It was Michael and nothing. Come on. Let's be honest. Tito, really?
Tito played instruments. They played instruments. Tito played the guitar. And Jermaine could sing. Jermaine wasn't a bad singer.
Why couldn't he put out an album that anybody cared about after 1971?
Listen, the same reason why all these other artists that are in groups go solo and fall flat. People like the group. They fill in the group, man.
But they couldn't do it without Michael. It was all about Michael. Michael was the magic. That's why they pushed him to the lead.
Of course.
It was all about Michael.
Well, Destiny's Child, Beyonce was the magic. That's why they pushed her to the front.
But listen,
it's no different.
And that's why he wasn't number 1.
But excuse me, they push who they want to push because Kelly can sing, okay?
Yeah, Kelly can sing. And listen to this, Darius. How about this? If you, for my money, if you gave me $100 and said, "Hey man, you could buy 2 tickets to go see Boyz II Men or the Jackson 5," who am I going to go buy tickets to see? Who's going to entertain me more at a concert? Sure, Boyz II Men go sing and they're going to do runs and they're going to be great. But I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to dance. I'm going to enjoy myself at a Jackson 5 concert.
Okay, so you're telling me if we gave you $100 right here, right now, and
I'll take it too if you want to.
What's the arena? The Little Caesars Arena? What you got there in Detroit?
We do got the Little Caesars Arena. That's our new arena.
Okay. So on Tuesday, right now, the Jackson 5, which I'm sure still touring in Istanbul somewhere.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I know where you're going here. I'm not talking about Jackson 5 with deceased Michael. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if Michael hypothetically were still alive and you gave me money to go see, Jackson
the greatest
5
entertainer of all time.
I'm going to go see Jackson 5.
You right about that.
So you would go see the greatest entertainer of all time. Yes, I agree. But Boyz II Men, they lost a member, right? They lost a member, and they carried on like it's nobody's business. Y'all saw them in the Geico commercial. They were great. You can't put Tito in a Geico commercial. He can't be on the commercial with the General. He can't be in State Farm. You can't do nothing with.
Man,
listen, I don't want to take anything away from Boyz II Men because all three of us put them as our number 2. We think that they're great. They just not greater than the Jackson 5. The Jackson 5, they are the GOATs. They are the best R&B group that ever lived. And it's 3 out of the 4 people. Now, the social media did not. And you'll probably go all crazy over this. Social media nobody voted for the Jackson 5 on social media. Believe it or not,
What?
nobody did. Yeah, nobody. But you know what? I think
they had 2 years.
I think that was because I was debating whether or not they were truly an R&B group or would they be classified as a pop group. But I think that's why people didn't. The top 3 online were Temptations, Boyz II Men, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And none of us had Earth, Wind, and Fire. None of us had Earth, Wind, and Fire in our top 3.
Jackson 5, man, they changed the game.
Oh, and the OJs. The OJs were. I'm sorry. It was Temptations, Boyz II Men, and then it was a 3-way tie between Earth, Wind, and Fire, New Edition, and the OJs. The OJs was real close to making my top 3. Yeah. Because the OJs are really good. Really good. That's my wife's favorite R&B group is the OJs.
Oh yeah.
Eddie Levert for some reason just, she love Eddie Levert. So there you go. But yeah, so any other while Darius is still stewing over there, listen. Boyz II Men is great. That 2 album, I used to bump that album like all the time. That Boyz II Men was my go-to. You trying to talk to a girl or whatever. It's high school, and you trying to, show your softer side. You play some Boyz II Men. That's what you try.
Water runs dry. I'm bended knee. I'll make love to you. End of the road. Please don't go. We could go on and on and on and on.
Hey, I don't dispute that. Boyz II Men got hits, no doubt. Just not as many as the Jackson 5.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Darius, just stop. The love you save.
Stop. I see what you did there. I like that. Any groups, any honorable mentions, like some groups? I know we just talked about the OJs. Any other groups that Jackson 5, they weren't an honorable mention for us. Any other groups? Now we had the 3 of us had the same exact top 3. I thought we were gonna have the same exact. We had New Edition, Boyz II Men, Jackson 5. Darius was the only outlier here, the only anomaly in all of this. But were there any groups that you guys considered that didn't make the list for male R&B groups?
112.
I was a big 112. I was a big 112 fan. Yeah. I liked 112, but not close to being in a top 3.
Yeah, there's levels. There's levels.
Yeah, definitely tiers. Jodeci was a group that got a lot of consideration online. Jodeci got a lot of consideration. Jodeci, they had a good run. But see, they just didn't come out with. They come out maybe 2 or 3 albums. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but they had hits. They had really good songs.
Okay,
but they were also another group where only 2 guys could sing. 2 of the 4 really could sing. The one guy was kind of more like a producer, produced the music. But Jodeci was good.
Jodeci was good.
Yeah. Jodeci definitely deserves an honorable mention. Come on, Darius, why you looking like that?
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. I was trying to debate whether I should let this come out my mouth or not. Drew Hill.
Yeah.
Drew Hill, not bad.
Mm,
Drew
mm.
Hill's not bad.
I had that CD, so.
They didn't have a run. They didn't have a very long run. They had one album.
I played
Really?
something out that CD.
Drew Hill only came out with one album? No way.
No.
No, I'm saying one notable album.
Oh, one. No, their first two albums were probably decent. They actually came out with 4 albums, and they actually are in the process because they reunited. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody's doing a comeback tour, so why not?
So they are in the process, allegedly, of recording a new album. But yeah, but Drew Hill was cool. They had some songs, and then Cisco had some solo success. I'm trying to see what their accomplishments were. But they had 7 top 40 hits. Number 1 songs were "In My Bed," "Never Make a Promise," "How Deep Is Your Love." So they had 3 number 1 records. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are all on the R&B charts, not the.
Those are all R&B. Yeah. You're right. R&B number 1 hits. Yeah, but hey, that count too.
Yeah. They were gold. They went gold a lot. So.
Hey, everybody can't go platinum, but
That's true. That's
another honorable mention group. The Isley Brothers was another group that got some mentions. That's an old school group. Isley Brothers, legends. One of my favorite groups that somebody mentioned that I was a big fan of in the 90s. I probably wouldn't put them. Obviously, I didn't put them in the top 3 and wouldn't put them. I don't even know if I put them in the top 10, but I liked them a lot. Blackstreet. I liked Blackstreet a lot. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Blackstreet, and then you could go Guy, because Guy was kind of a Teddy Riley, and so it was that's why I could see why the guys list was harder, because it just seemed like, I won't say there were better groups, I won't say that, but there just seemed to be more to choose from with the guys.
Right, Teddy Riley, his mom lived around the corner from us. Remember, Nadia?
Mm-hmm.
We're from Charleston, so they lived.
Oh, okay.
The corner. Yeah, we just never understood why she always stayed in that house, but whatever.
She stayed there even after Teddy Riley made it big.
Yeah, she's still there. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad home. I mean, our house, our neighborhood is not like messed up or anything, but yeah, she's fine where she stays.
Yeah.
House right around the
corner. That's because he ain't been sharing that money.
Huh?
You think Teddy been holding out on his mama? Come on, man.
No, because remember he wanted to buy her a home, but she said no, she don't want to, and she was fine staying where she was.
See why she right there?
Because that neighborhood is like it's like everybody is family, and you know each other, and you grew up with each other, went to school and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, sometimes when you get the older parents get comfortable in wherever they are and don't want to leave. So I mean, it's not uncommon. You see athletes that happens to they get into some money and their parents just be like, nah, I don't need it. Just update it. Give me some new furniture, some new carpet, a new refrigerator or something. So yeah,
right. In the car. I did. I think y'all mentioned it, but I did pick Jodeci. Because when Jodeci came out, they what did they get? They got Billboard Awards, music awards for the top R&B song. So Come and Talk to Me. I don't know if you remember that song. Oh,
of course.
Listen.
Of course.
Now, I mean, how old was I at this time? I shouldn't probably have been listening to Jodeci. We were probably like elementary students at the time. Yep, elementary. But anyways, Jodeci, Billboard Music Award, top R&B artist in 92. And Darius, the Soul Train Music Award for Best R&B and Soul album.
Yep. Yeah. And they had a run where for, I would say, that first album they came out with, Forever My Lady, then Diary of a Mad Band, and then that third album, which is The Show, The After Party, The Hotel. That 91 to 95 run that they were on, they might have been like the most popular R&B group.
Yeah.
Like out. Because they were kind of like the anti Boyz II Men. Like
right.
They were like that. Because they was like Boyz II Men was like, they came out, they had like the bow ties on and
right.
the plaid, and they was like preppy kind of boy. And then Jodeci was like the complete opposite of that. They were like the bad boys, no pun intended, because they did work with Puffy, but they were kind of like that. So
we called it what, raunchy back in the day.
Yeah. And then I mean, listen, they had
like the Bobby Brown.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then listen, they had their own. They had boots named after them, man. They had a whole. We used to wear the boots. They called them Jodeci boots, and we wore them to school, and all of that. So they were trendy, So that was something that TLC have going for them too. They were very, very trendy.
Well, speaking of boots, if it wasn't for Jodeci, then we wouldn't have H-Town.
Oh God!
I thought you were going to say O-Town.
H-Town, yeah, I remember them.
H-Town, they were, they had, what was the name of the song? Rockin' Boots.
Knocking the boots. Knocking the boots. Yeah. Yep. H-Town. Yeah.
They would probably still be doing something, but I don't know, because I know one of the brothers died. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. You guys remember Shy?
Oh, of course.
Oh yes.
Shy. Those groups are all kind of like, I want to say one-hit wonders, but they had like, those groups had like a cup of coffee. So For Real. I mean, it was so many groups, male groups back in the day, And Darius's favorite, we were talking about this on social media. He was talking about B2K. I don't know.
I was waiting for y'all to go bump on this thing.
Bumping out of that conversation, because I already told you I was gonna pick them. Because if I pick them, then I have to pick Immature, because Immature is basically my age.
Right.
All the girls had crushes on one of them.
That was my first concert I ever went to. Was an Immature concert.
See?
Okay.
Immature started with, was it Pint Size? But then that's his name, right? Wait, Pint Size. What's the little, was he Asian?
I thought it was Batman and some.
Remember
Marcus Houston was Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Batman, Romeo, and before LDB came on,
right?
You had that
Asian little Chinese,
Asian guy. I can't remember his name. Was his name Pint Size? I
don't know. You guys will probably know better than me. I remember them being at House Party. I remember them being at House Party.
Yeah, when they were in House Party, that was the original group.
Right. Yeah. I don't remember. I don't remember the other guy's name though.
They weren't on my wall, so I wouldn't know.
I did in my college dorm. I did have Toto on my wall though. I had Toto on the wall back in the day. I only liked one though, and that was the one that's married to Omar Epps. That was the only one that I liked. I didn't like the other ones, but
Keisha or
it was Keisha, Kima. I know it's Keisha, Kima, and Pam. That was the name. The names of the three in the group, but I can't remember which one is married to Omar Epps. I think it might be Keisha. I think you might be right.
Keisha.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So
my one was After 7. That
was
yes. Yeah. They was pretty
After 7 was good. Yeah.
2 platinum, and I think it was like 1 gold, 2 platinum and 1 gold.
Wasn't one of Babyface's brothers in After 7? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then 2 of them.
Okay.
2.
Melvin and Kevon.
Yeah, so I think isn't Kevon the one that married Tony Braxton?
No.
No.
I thought.
No, because since we're going there, that's why I need to mention this. Hold on, because I want to make sure I'm right. Hold on, I want to make sure I'm right. That's right. This is why I really wanted to go with this group. Now, this wasn't going to be my number one group, but this was probably going to replace New Edition.
There's no replacing
Condition.
Oh my gosh.
Mint
Condition was cool.
Now, the reason why, because we were talking earlier and you were talking about groups and bands.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I was like, but they're still considered R&B an R&B group.
Oh yeah,
because you still have the vocals, they're singing, but I mean Stokely is the lead singer.
Yeah.
But the guy who plays the piano married Toni Braxton.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. She married the guy in Mint Condition. That's right. Yeah.
I think he played.
But see, when I think Mint Condition, I only think Pretty Brown Eyes. Like that's the only song that comes to mind. I know they probably got more, but that's the only one that comes to mind.
And they only got 3 nominations, so
yeah, their albums went paper.
Like they were underrated.
Dare said their albums went paper. That went wood. Is that what you're saying? Come on, man.
You know what I'm gonna do? I think this would be great. I think I'm gonna get like my I'm gonna go on YouTube, whatever, grab my phone, put the YouTube on, and play Jackson 5 in Mint Condition all night. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna blast it right loud for Dares to hear.
Yeah. I'm getting the hotel, y'all.
I'm taking the keys and
you ain't going nowhere.
I'm gonna blast it.
Well, yeah.
Mint Condition, and the reason why, the vocals are like the harmony, it puts you to sleep. Oh my gosh. Seriously, Mint Condition.
No, good music. That's why I said it was a lot of guy groups to.
I know.
To choose from.
I'm trying to think what.
They all had some impact. All had some impact on the game for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why I still listen to them to this day. And let's scratch off those other kids that's out here now. I don't mean to throw no shade to these Migos and these other stuff. I don't even know who. They're all one person for all I know. So, yeah, I'm still stuck on our 90s and our late 80s and
especially with R&B music because it's like pretty much non-existent like today. Like if it is like all of them want to be rappers, so it's like super like profane and just like what R&B back in the day used to be like they was saying stuff, but it was like you had to dig really deep to understand what they were saying. Now they just come out. Tank got a song. He just basically hey, it's going down. Okay. Times have changed, though. Times have changed. But this was fun, guys. The greatest R&B male and female R&B groups of all time. I appreciate you guys allowing me the Sunday Night Vibe platform to discuss it and get into it. I'm gonna have to have you guys on with another topic here down the road. But Darius, I know you probably want to close things out unless you have anything you want to add.
Nope. We appreciate you hopping on and being the MC for the night. Make sure once again you follow us on all the social media platforms. Basically, it's SNV Podcasts, and like Stokes mentioned, you will be able to find this anywhere your podcasts are found, from Google to Stitcher, all the above. And I know they can find you, Stokes, on social media as well.
Yep, I'm on Twitter. You can follow the podcast, the GOAT Debate Podcast, at GOAT_debate. The podcast itself is on Anchor. It'll soon be on all of your other podcasting outlets. And hopefully we'll have a website and all that other other fun stuff very soon. So thanks for having me on. It was fun, guys. Thank you.
It was great.
All right. We'll see you right here next Sunday night, the Sunday Night Vibe podcast. Until then, peace.